using their voice and the power they feel they have to come to some type of resolve. Now,
Right.
Jason Whitlock, everybody is aware of Jason Whitlock. He's a sports commentator, resident coon. I'm sorry, whatever. But this brother got on Tucker Carlson's show. We all know Tucker Carlson is a white man who has disdain for black society. So if you're a black person, I'm not telling you don't go on his show, but it's like going into a war field. Like you
Right.
have to be aware and be on code. So I'm gonna play a quick clip of Jason Whitlock talking on on Tucker Carlson's show, because we need to realize as black folks, if we don't like something we see, if we don't like something that happened that involves us, there's a way and a place to speak about it. And if you speak about my people with disdain, I don't care what the color of your skin is, I can't rock with that. I'm
Absolutely.
gonna look at you sideways, because empathy
Absolutely.
and love is always needed when we're speaking. And this brother Jason Whitlock doesn't seem to show that a lot. So let me play a small clip of what he said about TYRE Nichols and black single mothers. We play it real quick. Hold on one second.
Absolutely.
Because this happens a lot, Sonia, with different black men. And we know going on someone's show, you can be doing it for shock value. You
Right.
can get off of TV and be on code. You could be the spook that said by the door. But
Right.
in media, like, our people are so gullible. People in general are so gullible. They're so eager to take in information. The words you say, you gotta be careful. You feel me? So let's
Yes.
listen to a little bit of this.
Of this, because there
Yeah.
is a racial element, and this is a story about young black men ability to treat each other in a humane way. Everybody involved in this on the street level was either 24 to 32 years old. Everybody. It was a group of young black men, 5-on-1. Looked like gang violence to me. It looked like what young black men do when they're supervised by a single black woman. And that's what they got going on in the Memphis Police Department. They've elected some or put some black woman in charge of the police force. And we're getting the same kind of chaos and disunity and violence that we see in a lot of these cities that are run by single mothers. If we want to discuss the breakdown of family that leads to disrespect for authority, that causes you to resist the police and run from the police and not comply with the police because you resist authority at all time, because there was no male authority in your home, let's have that discussion. But that's not where they want to take us. They want to take us down the path of saying, you know what, this is Tucker Carlson's fault.
Okay. So enough of that. I'm done listening to that. Okay, so a couple things that we need to address, Sonia. So you go on this show and you make it seem like me as a black man, if a cop pulls me over, cop, i.e., just another man with a
Right.
badge, with a
Right.
gun. If I'm having a bad day, or today I feel like I don't want another person to touch me, none of this should cause me my life. So he's basically
Right.
framing it as a black man, if I'm resisting, if I am opposed to authority doing a certain thing to me, it's because I didn't have a father. Then he speaks negatively about, and there's some black woman running, and I'm like, wait a minute. Look, some of you Negroes, man, and I'm saying Negroes to be respectful to my sister, because
Right. Right.
some of you Negroes, y'all have a problem with black women that can span based on your relationships, that can
Yes.
span based on the relationship you have with your mom, based on seeing how black women get treated in society. Sometimes y'all just be on some hate black women shit, and it seeps out in how you conversate. So Sonia, when you see
Absolutely.
this brother basically blame, and then he said it looks like a whole bunch of thugs. What are we talking about? When you see a black man position his argument like this, what do you think?
You know, several things came to mind when I heard this interview initially. The first thing that came to mind is obviously he is not aware of the historical foundation of what the police are. We talk about this every week when we talk about these instances, right? So Could it be that historically Black men are afraid of anyone who's in a batch because we don't know what the outcome might be? Could it be that we're not resisting, we're trying to get to a place where we feel that we will be more safe? Could it be that we're running because we know that the ultimate result could be our death? Could it possibly be that we are scared and we just want, I mean, he's calling mama. He's supposedly feet away from his mother's front door. He's screaming it so loud, hoping to get the attention of his mother. The problem that I have with this individual, then taking it to another step, another layer of not only anti-Blackness, but I hate women, right? You gonna put something, you made a correlation between the captain of this department, which you don't know anything about her background, whether or not she's a single mother or not. But here's the thing, if you Google his background, he was raised by a single mother. So he has some hate within him based on his experiences. And that does not mean that every child that is raised by a single mother has negative outcomes. Quite opposite is the case. In a lot of cases, you have single mothers, single Black mothers in particular, who are working 2 and 3 jobs to make sure that they are providing for their young people. They have a village around them to make sure that their young people are safe. They are having expectations of their young people. Don't be like me. Make sure that you get your education. Make sure that you get a job. Make sure that you treat the person that you are ultimately in love with kindness and respect. These are the outcomes of the single Black mothers that I know. And I can speak to that because my mother was a single Black mother for a long time. But I will also say that within our own community, we know, you hear the phrase all the time, all kinfolk ain't skinfolk.
Yep.
There is this intentional divide that, besides slavery and besides the law enforcement situation, there is a conditioning that we have been under attack that separates the man and the woman in the Black family since the beginning of time that we've been in this country. So if we're not going to talk about that, right? We can't have a conversation about nothing because they took the men out of the slave quarters with the Black women.
Yeah, this is all facts. So sometimes, Sonia, when I look at grown man, like I'm gonna say his name, Jason Whitlock is on Tucker Carlson's show speaking ill about this young Black man who just died. Sometimes I'm thinking, we know this history, right? So if you understand this history, you doing this for a different reason. To be that insensitive to say he's running and maneuvering away from the cops because he has a single mom. This is some political shit. Like, this is something you're doing for the likes and the views, but this can be damaging because another Black person who does not know our history may listen to you or watch what you're doing and take the shit you saying at face value, when this is just completely nuts. Because again, you also go on Tucker Carlson's show, which we know if he ain't a goddamn white supremacist, he acting like one. He act like one on a weekly basis. You can't go on this brother's show and spew this type of nonsense.
No.
And this before. So this is why I'm talking about Jason Whitlock, because this ain't the first time. Because if this brother gets off camera and has a completely different narrative, shame on you. Like, words matter. That's something I'm learning very, very clearly, everybody. Words matter. And if you want to get on a platform and blame single mothers for a Black man dying, wrong time, wrong place. Do we have an issue with unwed or mothers who have children or young people who have children who don't have resources, who aren't in a position to successfully or like penetrate their family the correct way to make sure everyone's taken care of? Yeah, there's systematic issues that cause this. We know what the cause of this is, but you have to approach it in a particular way, Sonia. So when I see a Black man that comes at it in such a nefarious way, it's hard for me to trust them. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Because if you have a Black and you say he come from a single mom, this is amazing to me. This is amazing to me. So you understand the strife your mom had to go through. You understand that if you a single mother and you raise a son that's a lawyer or some type of athlete or